All right, I'm going to try to do a quick video on how to do a steering wheel swap for a 2014 Porsche Cayenne diesel. It's a 958.1. This is a pretty decent interior for a 2014 vehicle. But yeah, I think kind of the one, biggest eyesore of this generation is this kind of dated looking steering wheel. Obviously, absolutely nothing wrong with the steering wheel. It turns the car, has an airbag, has, control buttons, heated steering wheel, all that kind of good stuff. But it does look a little bit dated, so I used a company called Wheelhouse. Found them on Instagram. They also have a Facebook thing, but they offer a updated steering wheel. It's supposedly plug and play, so I guess we'll test that. But I'm basically going to be getting a 991.1 style steering wheel. Should have all of the same buttons and controls, should retain the heated function. Instead of these kind of like, I never even use these, but the buttons to shift gears, it actually has like paddles. And it's custom, so it's got like the yellow stripe, it's got the custom yellow stitching and all that kind of stuff. And I didn't want to do like Alcantara or any kind of weird material because this is an off-roading vehicle and your hands do get dirty, and I didn't want to deal with all that stuff. So I just kind of kept it normal leather. I didn't want perforated or anything weird like that. So anyway, I'm going to go through some of the steps on how to do that. I did watch a handful of YouTube videos, so hopefully those are all still relevant. And here we go. All right. Tools that you're going to need for this job are going to be a 13 millimeter socket. That is to help get the negative battery terminal cable off. You're going to need an M12 triple square bolt bit. And you're going to need, that's to get the steering wheel on and off the car. And then you're going to need like a really skinny flathead screwdriver. You don't really need it to be super long. It's only going to go in maybe a few inches. But it helps to get one that's really skinny because it's going to have to go through a small hole at the bottom of your steering wheel. All right. So before we get started, a very important step is to unplug the battery. Now, the steering wheel has a airbag and some other electronic stuff attached to it, so this is definitely a good idea. Now, in a Cayenne, the battery is located under the front seat. However, they were very kind and they created this little access panel. So I'm going to go ahead and again, I'm actually not even going to apologize. My car is dirty, and rightfully so. But yeah, you peel this little guy back, and there's a little bolt, and there's a negative cable right here, right? So you disconnect this, you give your car a little minute to discharge everything that might be in a capacitor or something like that, and you can get started. So I went ahead and unscrewed this. It's a number 13. So take that guy out. Ooh, we'll get some sparking. Disconnect this guy, and yeah, give it a minute. I usually like to kind of hit the brake pedal and the other things. Also, your door locks aren't going to work anymore, so you might want to open a window or something like that if you're going to do something. I don't know if my lighting is good enough to really show you this, but so after you've given your car about a half an hour to an hour or so for the batteries to fully die out, we're going to need to take the airbag out of your original steering wheel. So if you look underneath right around the 6 o'clock spot, you can see that there's like a little dimple here, and this is where you would stick a screwdriver. That's that skinny little screwdriver, and I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate that. So stick that in, push that in, and it's supposed to pop out, but maybe not quite as easy as I thought. Actually, the tools I showed you, I think if you can find a skinny enough flathead, it'll probably work a little bit better. What you're trying to do is you're trying to engage with a wire that's in there, and that's actually what kind of captures the airbag in place. So once I get this thing out, I think it can probably show you a little bit better, but it did take a little bit of effort because you're kind of figuring which angle you need to go in and all that kind of stuff, but you really only need to be able to put it in like a couple inches, so it's not that bad. But airbag is now loose. I'm going to pull this guy out, and now you can see that we have a bunch of stuff in there. Got these little cables right here. And this is what I'm talking about. I think you stick the screwdriver in the hole. Let me see if I can do this. So if you have a normal screwdriver, it's kind of hard to get it, but if you have a flathead, you can kind of turn it sideways, and then you can kind of engage this bar. So that's kind of how I did it, and somehow this screw is flopping around. I don't know if that's supposed to be flopping around or not. Probably doubt it, but there you go. That's what it is. So once you get the airbag out, you're going to want to disconnect these two wires as well as this ground wire. So I'm going to use this thing basically for these yellow ones. You got to pull up on this orange tab. See how that just kind of pulls up? Do the same thing over here. Yeah, there you go. Pull up on that. You got to take this guy. And sorry, I'm working one-handed here because holding the camera in one hand and trying to pull this stuff out with the other. But there we go. There we go. Take that ground wire out. And then once these orange things are up, these things should just pull up like this. So notice how, if I'm not mistaken, one of them is blue, and that goes to the blue, and one of them is yellow, and that goes to the yellow. So we'll see if my... Oh, that just hit me in the nuts. Let's see how all that works. We're also going to have to take that guy out in there as well. All right, so that loose spring that was here that was rattling around, I probably did that. I was probably reaching in with my screwdriver, and I probably compressed this and it fell off of this. So I just put it back in. We have to undo these two wires as well. You can see there's like a little orange tab here and a little orange tab there. Might be a little bit harder to see because of the light, but I believe these are for accessory functions. So once you squeeze that off, you should be able to just unplug it like that. The side one, you just take that, and it should pull up pretty easily. At least on mine it did. I didn't really have to struggle that hard, but here we go. Those are the accessory plugs, and all we have to do now is use that M12 triple square bolt, and we should be able to take that out. I don't know, I watched some of these things. Some of them said that, hey, these things have indicators, but just kind of get an idea if your wheel is relatively straight or not, so that way when you put your new wheel back on, you're not, driving around with a crooked wheel and looking stupid. So yeah, let's do some. All right, now that we have all the electrical plugs off, double checking all these, we are now going to have to take the wheel off. So we are going to take our M12 triple square bit, short extension because this is a little deep, and give it a little ugga-duggas. There we go, look at that. And there it is. It's got some thread locker on there, and that's what it looks like down there. Let's see how easy it is to pull this guy off now. Oop, there you go. Look at that. Super simple. All right, I got the wheel in. The little line and the little mark on the inside appear to be lined up. I pushed this guy in. I heard it click. I pushed this guy in. I really didn't hear it click, but I'm pushing it in. I don't think it's going to go in any further. Hopefully it's good enough. Just checking to make sure all the stuff is where it's supposed to be. I'm going to put this bolt back in. Oops, sorry. I hit the gimbal and now it's mad at me. There you go. I think it's back to normal. So I'm going to hand tighten this first so I don't cross thread my damn steering wheel bolt. Take it so far, make sure it goes a few threads, and jack that up. Move these wires out of the way. Put this guy back in here. And let's not make that like the hardest setting. Maybe a little bit more. Okay, that looks pretty snug. I'm sure that's not going to come off. If it does, it was meant to be. All right, now I got to put the airbag back in. So this is what the old airbag looked like. It's a big boy. The new airbag is, I mean, from the front looks pretty much the same, but it's a lot skinnier. So looks like This thing was made in Romania. Hopefully, if I get into an accident, it'll go off, but we'll see. Yeah. So these two cables actually went in pretty easy. They are shaped, and they're color coded. So there's a yellow side and a brown side. They can only go in one way, so you can't put it in backwards. It won't fit. I tried. I did notice that there is a piece here for ground wire, but I don't see a loose ground wire anywhere in this steering wheel. I tried to pull on all these little things to see if there's anything, and I don't see it. Maybe it's built in. Also, you'll notice these little things, those go into those holes, so that, again, those are spring loaded, so that's how you kind of pop it off like we did with the little hole thing. So I'm going to go ahead and you guys will watch with me. Make sure those things are lined up. And I popped it in. And there we go. We have a steering wheel. And yeah, that looks cool as shit. I really like this. This looks fantastic. Feels good. Yeah. Now we're going to have to test and make sure everything works. Before we test everything, we do need to make sure that we plug this negative cable back in. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and then start doing a function check. All right. Here's the moment of truth. I take my key, put it in, and just forewarning, I don't have any gas or anything like that in this damn car. I am pressing the brake, dude. What the fuck? Yeah, mind my driving distance. Hey, the buttons work. Let's see. Cool. They go through all the stuff. Volume is working. That's cool. I don't think I have anything tied to this button right now. Hey, the horn works. And let's see, I'm gonna try this. Heated steering wheel. Hey, heated steering wheel. At least the button works. We'll see if it actually works. I am super stoked. This is super cool. That was really easy. 10 out of 10. Thank you, Wheelhouse, for getting me this awesome steering wheel. I mean, it's all blacked out and everything. It's got the yellow stitching. Really happy with this. Thank you.